Here we are, Championship Monday, Ballarat. The weather's beautiful still after 2 miserable mornings. We've got our feature game of the tournament, the last game, the ladies' final, the final that's not an in-club scrimmage. Rogue, one part of the club system in Sydney, Rogue Alliance versus Ellipsis. We're joined with Nikki Smith in the press box today. How are you, Nikki?
I'm really good. How are you, Stefan?
Fabulous. Thank you. Enjoying every minute of the tournament. Tell us what some of your expectations are of this game, what you know about some of these teams, your thoughts, Nikki.
All right. I'm expecting great ultimate because that's what I've already seen, both from these teams and the other high-ranking women's teams at this tournament. It has been sensational. We have, so Ellipsis is formed, well, the club Ellipsis was formed in 2013. Lots of people know that the club won as a mixed team at the US Open last year.
Put them on the map.
Yep. And it was at that tournament that they decided to form a women's club. And they've done that really well because here they are in the final.
And as we're just getting started, tell us a bit about what you've learned of this Ellipsis club, how they got going, and the demeanor in which they carry themselves.
I think the word is professionalism. Do we need to talk about what's happening here?
Yeah, let's get into the game. First point of the game. Sprague with the disc, one of the firetails, one of the chief operators of this Rogue Alliance offense. And it gets away early from Sarah Perkins. Throw too far from Sprague, and Justice picks up the other way. Last time we saw Carrie Justice, she was dropping bombs, and she starts off in the same manner from this one. That's Carrie Justice to McLeod on the bomb. And then I believe it's number 2, Lauren Tink, cashes in the goal. So 1-0 early. Here's the replay. Justice dropping bombs, picking up where she left off, just over the outstretched hands of the defense. And we're on. And one more time. So, Nikki, as we were back to a bit of the club culture from Ellipsis, tell us a bit more about them.
Sounds good. So some of the girls playing on the team that went to the US Open last year, which, yeah, as you said, got a lot of publicity, they decided that they want to start a women's part of their club to do a few things, to see if they could raise the bar, raise the standard of women's ultimate in Australia, see if they could do that, and also to spread women's ultimate, support women playing sport and getting involved. There's a bunch of ways that they've done that. I'm going to list one now, and we'll come back to them because they're about to pull. They've run camps in the Philippines. They're going to go back and do some more. Kat Phillips is running some training before Worlds, and they also run youth programs.
And Carrie Justice pulls, Sprague collects. Contentious collection. There's Vivian Stetner, another firetail, and she watches as her throw sails away. Ellipsis with some early momentum. Carrie Justice walking to the disc as the 2 sharp-dressed coaches walk in front of our broadcast booth. Timmel, Matt Hill, and Dan Rule. More about them later, too. Carrie Justice now. All she does is drop bombs, it seems. Winds up the forehand, shot to the end zone. Nat Ray for the goal. Ellipsis up 2-0 early. Looking strong.
Looking really strong. They haven't made any mistakes in this win yet. I think it's worth noting, Stefan, there are a lot of Aussie reps on both teams. On Ellipsis, we have, you know what, oh no, here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5 firetails, 5 2016 firetails, 3 Mondays. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girls who have previously played juniors or under 23. So the vast majority of the Ellipsis side has represented Australia.
One way or another.
One way or the other. Recently or currently or both. Rogue, so as most people know, Rogue Alliance, who you're seeing here, is part of the bigger Rogue Club, and Rogue Resistance has just finished 3rd this morning, and they also sent a team to Women's Div 2 Nats a few weeks back. So this season, Rogue split their women's teams according to their national reps. So out here today for Rogue Alliance, you will see 3 Barramundis and 5 firetails. Rogue Resistance has 4 firetails and 4 Flying Foxes, which is a Masters team.
Wow, well, all these reps, 2 clubs one battle, but Ellipsis doing damage early. With the wind at their back, Rogue needs to answer now. It's 2-0. Need is a little heavy, but to go down any further is very inoptimal, and a shot to no one there. Justice to pick up. Gets it to Fung. Great catch from Mandy. Out in front to Nat Ray. She's there. Close sideline. Back to Fung. Picks it up. Two hands. Edgar on the mark. Surveying options. A lot of flicking. Now to Brereton. Brereton with the disc. Forward. In front of Meehan. A lot of traffic. She hangs on. Meehan engages Justice. Now looks for the around, sneaks through a forehand. Justice winds up. She wanted the backhand around, tried it anyways underneath, pick called. Turnover there. Nothing changes, pick changes nothing. And 24 to pick up, that's Bree Edgar. Another fire tail. The discussion continues.
Carey tried to get that backhand off around Danny Alexander. There they go now. Danny Alexander, a World Games rep in 2013 and also one of the captains of Rogue Alliance today.
As well as a captain of the Barramundis. A lot of titles that Danny Alexander wearing right now.
She does.
One of the top players on this Rogue team and in the country, full stop. Against one of the best throwers we've seen at this campaign, most certainly, Carey Justice. Now Mandy Fung. Back to Justice. Justice again, just ripping out backhands from any angle she can. This one a little bit more out than in, and not going to return to the field proper. And Rogue Alliance to take over on the sideline, about 10 meters out from their end zone.
That's really the first throw from Ellipsis that looks like it's been affected by the wind. Looks like Rogue struggled with the gusty conditions, but that's the first time Ellipsis has really been impacted by it.
We'll see how that plays out throughout the game. The gusts have died off a bit, but there's another one, so they've certainly not stopped. Bree Edgar with the disc, a firetail handler. She goes up and over. There's company on the up and over, and there is a turnover on the up and over. Now Ellipsis with a 2-meter distance to travel to get themselves a goal, possibly 5, as Meehan sets to flank and Justice will pick up the disc. Danny Alexander ready to meet her at the mark. And these backhands mostly from Justice have been flying, but here comes the forehand. Nat Ray can't handle, just a bit outside her range. Conversation, let's hear on the field. We're looking at the replay. Ooh,
Uncontested foul?
Uncontested foul. She thought she had her hand on the disc while a small amount of contact hit her on the ankles there. A tough one. Seemed like minimal contact. Here it is again. She does kind of get fallen on. That could possibly have affected. There was contact into the back of her knee there that would have affected. That's what was called.
Still.
So Nat Ray will have it on her goal line. An uncontested foul in the end zone that was not caught. Tapped in. Nat Ray. And Danny Alexander picks it off, intercepted on an errant throw. Danny to Bree. Bree winds up. She's put it. She's got her receiver. That's Sarah Perkins. She puts it forward, misses one, has the other. Nez Ruiz hauls it in. Back to Chung. And a travel cold. Rogue would love to put themselves on the board with this. Wind at their back.
Let's get it going.
A meter out. Rubenberg wants some action here. Action he wants. Action he gets. The disc is in. She tried to pop the very big bobble and gets it back. Emma Lothian to Danny Alexander. And what did we have there? Was that a hand block?
Hand block.
On Danny Alexander from
Justice.
Right.
We'll hope, from Nat Ray, we'll hope to get a look at that again. Nat Ray now with the disc. Meehan, what a play on the doorstep there. Going the other way now, Ellipsis. Meehan engages Justice. Justice puts up a backhand. Has a completion. The next one's for goal. McLeod scores from Mary Tony. All set up from this hand block from Nat Ray on the goal line against Danny Alexander. Let's see if we get another chance to see those.
Called.
Timeout called
Rogue.
wisely by Rogue. Here's the big put by Bree Edgar. Great put. Has Perkins. Perkins misses her first receiver, gets it to Tony. And then here is the throw to score that Nat Ray gets every little piece of.
Look at that disc wobble.
Yeah, that's tacoed as.
Yep.
And here's the other way. Heartbreaking for Rogue, but the score to Ellipsis 3-0. Smithers, what's going on with Rogue here? What do they need to do?
Well, I think they need to take some deep breaths. I think they need to throw throws they 100% know are on, and they really need to think about what throws they want with the wind. Most of their mistakes have come from throwing errors affected by the wind. They probably want to play a slightly shorter game. That was nice movement down the field by Bree. They are taking a bunch of risks that aren't paying off for them.
Absolutely. They've, whatever it is, they've got to figure it out. I mean, at the end of the day, the hand block there was a great defensive play after,
I think Nat Ray can retire now, frankly.
Yeah, beautiful movement up until there, and that goal line stand. Danny seemed to have the receiver going to the back of the end zone, had it all lined up, and Nat Ray took it away and made it all hers.
Yeah, the Ellipsis girls are really playing almost flawless on ultimate at this stage. We might have a minute now just to talk a little bit more about what they've done this season. So the word I used earlier was professionalism, and that's how they've chosen to try and build their women's team and run their season. So you see their coaches out there right now dressed as you have never seen ultimate coaches dressed before. Black pants are the norm, although Dan Rule gets away with his navy blue pants.
Navy blues for the ruler.
It's controversial. But they pay their coaches. They have 3 assistant coaches with various specific capacities, and Matt Hill, Timmel, is their head coach. They've also successfully applied for between $8,000 and $9,000 worth of sponsorship and grants. So that allows them to operate more professionally, to pay people who are doing professional work for them, to maintain a social media presence that makes them marketable, that makes them sponsorable, and also to have very focused high-level training that's paying off now.
It did a heck of a job with their recruiting too whenever that started, because they've got one heck of a roster here. Sprague picks up the pole. Sprague forwards to Chung. Chung floats one up. All day though for Longley. Longley back to Chung. Now Stetner. Chung up the sideline. Chung's put it. Kat Phillips is there. She's going to eat those up 9 times out of 10. One of the strongest players in the country, if not the. However, a hand block there with some contact. That's Courtney Patty on the mark. And Ellipsis again with the disc as well to go along with their 3-point lead, 3-0. Kat Phillips jacks it. That's over one intended receiver's head. Sprague has one piece of it and then smacks it away. Stetner picks up to Sprague. Sprague gets it to Bella C. Another fire tail. Return to Sprague. Stetner now, far side. Back to Chung. Gaining some meters now. Longley. Chung. Zone from Ellipsis. Puppy fence. Shot to end zone. Roger on the board.
Excellent. That was great patience. Nice dump swinging by Rogue, and it paid off. I think that's exactly what they needed to do.
That was Courtney Patty with the goal. 1-3. Here's the replay. Shot up the line. Not yet, though. Here's the look. Here's the shot up the line. Longley in space. Patty, sorry, in space. Easy goal. So tell us a bit more, Nikki, about the specific roles of these coaches. You said they've got their allocated separately. They've got specific roles. Tell us what you know about some of this specificity.
Sure, yeah. So Ellipsis has, like I said, head coach Matt Hill. They've got Anna Ragaki, who's well known, obviously, throughout Australia for her mental strength work. So they've employed her at various times throughout the season to work on their mental game. Brendan Ashcroft, who's an Australian representative, who's a dingo, and also a very high-level sprinter. So they've had him do sessions as a sprint coach for the team. And Dan Rule, who's here today in the navy blue pants, is their throwing and their defense coach. So he comes with a lot of defensive strategy expertise, and has also worked with them on a bunch of technical skills.
Great attention to detail from a managerial point of view there by Ellipsis, and again paying dividends. They put an exceptional roster together, and people are just that much more easy to join a club like that when they know everything's taken care of.
Yep, absolutely.
So the Ellipsis did change their defensive tactic in that last point. They'd been playing man. They went zone there. Rogue did score. It was a shorter field when we did see the bulk of the zone. But Rogue did get past it. Perhaps not the strategy Ellipsis is looking for. They may be the faster team 7-on-7, which would favor a man-to-man, but we'll see what happens next.
Danny and Kat Phillips here, a great marquee matchup. Danny runs through the back of Kat Phillips, all smiles from both of them after the collision. Kat with the disc, setting up, puts it up when Ash Martin's there, has a play at it, has the disc, meters out. Ash flicks forward quickly. Georgia Egan Griffiths for the goal, 4-1 Ellipsis. Here's the replay. Kat puts it up, great weight. Ash Martin's such a trusty receiver. Gets under, meters from the line on that. Quick hesitation, or brief hesitation, and gets it to that cross cut for the goal from Egan Griffiths.
My understanding is that Ash Martins hasn't played until this season for the last 3 years. She's a previous Australian rep several times over. Has had a break and has obviously come back stronger than ever. I've seen her around the tournament doing her trademark massive layouts.
Yeah, I didn't know that she had taken a break. I did have some perception of not seeing her around for a while, and seeing her play like this, it's great to have her back playing Ultimate.
Absolutely. I'll talk a little bit more about Rogue at this stage. So we were saying that they have, so there's been 3 Rogue teams that they've sent to nationals of one sort or another this year. The 2 that are here, Rogue Alliance and Rogue Resistance, and they also sent a Rogue team with a different name to Women's Division 2 Nationals, and that'll come to me. So we have some real vintage talent and form from some of the women on the Rogue team. One of them that I'll mention now is Vivian Stetner, who's a firetail this year, and I think she's been a firetail in 3 or 4 campaigns.
Sprague goes for the caught pull. It hits her, it hits the ground, and they play on there. I'll want to have another look at that, maybe off the ground first. Stetner with the disc, the veteran we were talking about. And wow, Sprague bails her out there. Great 2-hand splash to the ground. Picks it up, keeps the possession alive, throws over top. Stetner again. Stetner gets the gainer to go to Bree Edgar. Edgar surveying options, goes for the swing, gets it with a mark on the shoulder. Underneath again to Rosie Dawson. A firetail I'm told to be looking out for, as she'll be flying all over the field.
Yeah, watch her on D. Oh, I saw her on O yesterday. Just watch her all the time.
One to watch, Rosie Dawson, disc in hand. She won't be laying out with the disc in hand right away. Gets it to Stetner on a bit of a speculator there. Stetner, who fakes the big, looks for the return, and is off target with her shot to Sprague.
Getting around Carrie Justice's arms is a very difficult thing.
And Justice drops the bomb. 21 has got the goal. That's Mary Tony. Ellipsis looking exceptionally strong here. 5-1.
Ellip-
Rogue needing answers. Here's the replay. Justice just got the D, gets up, drops another bomb. That's all she's been doing. Not afraid of the cameras. This one to Tony right in the breadbasket as they go up 4 early in this Women's National Championship game.
Yeah, Ellipsis making it look easy today. So Mary Tony, who caught that disc, has a sister on the team, Emilia Tony, who is a Mondays player who's been selected for the Mondays this year, who has unfortunately not played this entire tournament. She has ankle injury. She has an injury, perhaps a foot injury that she's picked up earlier in the season. So she's taking this one out in anticipation. It's an ankle injury. We have confirmation. Thank you, Kron.
Intel on the sidelines here.
Yep. Hoping to make it back in fine form for World Championships in the UK in mid-June.
The bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Cron Hudson, our Intel, the assistant coach of that Barramundi's squad, going to London alongside Anna Ragacki and her co-coach, who won't be making it, I don't believe, Nikki Shires. Carrie Justice, dropping bombs on O, dropping bombs to start the D. There's the pull. Emma Lothian puts a big one, has Danny Alexander, save his houses, 2 hands. She puts it straight away. Manescu there, changes direction. Won't be able to get there.
Rogue just not able to make the connections. Maybe it's the wind, maybe it's mental game. Not sure what's not working for them today.
Just not coming off. They're making 1 or 2 nice passes, nice plays, but the composure lacks to find it the whole way into the end zone thus far. Now, the dangerous woman of this game, the one inflicting the bulk of the damage, Carrie Justice. Oh, goodness, gets some help that time. The first one that comes out that doesn't look that nice, and baby Rebecca Brereton gets the beautiful pack grab. Now to Meehan. Meehan with the disc. Waiting patiently, gets the around to junior Rebecca Brereton. Meehan again. Meehan and floater to McLeod. McLeod with the disc. Back to Meehan. 20 meters out, perhaps 25. Stall count mounting. What a bid by Danny Alexander. This is exactly what Rogue needs. The All-Stars to step up, to start inserting themselves into this game, making impact, and oh goodness, just as I say it, the Ellipsis force strikes back and get a walk through D. That's Fung to Brereton. Brereton to Tony. Tony resists. And back to Meehan. Gets the around. Justice. What's she gonna do? Of course she's gonna shoot it. Looking for the honey. No money this time. Brereton can't get there. Too far in front.
Hope she's okay.
She is down.
Hope it's just a breathing thing. She's not grabbing her shoulder, which is good news.
A little ginger to get up, a little slow. But getting up on her own accord. A good sign from the get-go. Possibly winded, hitting the ground. Rogue happy with the result of that play anyways. They get another chance. Let's see if we can get there. All-Stars making things happen. Bella C, one of the fire tails. She loads up. She puts it. She's got Perkins on the chase. Too far in front. A bit too much on that one. A worthy option, but again, Rogue just missing on too many chances here.
Yeah, it's great to see this many layouts, but it sure would be great to be seeing them all on defense.
Yes. Well, every great catch comes from a mediocre throw. We all know that adage.
Absolutely.
And here is Ash Martins back in the game. Disc in hand from her own end zone line. Looks for the around. Wasn't there early. Now floaty one to Meehan. Defense all over. Justice. Is it going to go deep again? No. Wanted Martins working at a much quicker pace than that for that thing to connect. And Rogue. Time to settle. Let's see what they got. Crowd behind the underdog at this stage. Willing the score from Rogue as Bree Edgar picks it up. Oh, looks to center and not Is it either a hand on it or a whole lot of wind on it?
I think Tony got a hand on that.
And Emma has called a foul. Let's have a look here. Here it is up. There is a little bit of contact. Both the Ellipsis women were up early with hands to
I
it.
couldn't go up, and I had a bid for sure. I'm not saying I definitely had it, but I had a bid. Uncontested. Okay.
Uncontested foul.
Appreciate it. So it goes back, or go back to the throw. And you're still as a.
Are you saying, but you were on offense?
I was on offense.
Yep.
And
So you're saying it was directly related to catching the frisbee? In which
Yes.
case it would be your disc.
I don't think it's one of the fouls.
So you're saying it's an indirect foul, so it's going to go over
Yes.
here. Okay.
Yes.
Rubenberg mediating the discussion out there, making it as quick as possible to get to the best resolution. And as that one is a uncontested foul that would not have immediate bearing on the play, so it
It's
goes back to
uncontested.
the thrower, who was Bree Edgar, who last time she threw had a handful of Mary Tony on her. Now we go Edgar to Lothian, over to Stetner, far sideline. Stetner forwards, Manescu backhand, has Danny Alexander, 2-5, rogue answer, and like we hoped, some of the stars getting themselves involved. Here's the replay. Manescu, great shot, first big throw we've seen from her, and it's a beautiful one to count to Danny Alexander. Great catch.
So on the line there talking, looking at the replay again.
Some play from earlier.
Clear him in.
Oh, what a bid.
Danny is everywhere on that field.
Danny Alexander has now got herself into the game. Now the more that she can inject herself, the better for Rogue. They've woke the dragon, perhaps.
Hopefully. Just out of the shot there, coming across now. No, my apologies. Just out of the shot there is Kylie O'Brien, the Rogue coach. We'll talk more about her in just a minute.
Excellent. It's great to see so many teams with coaching staff, whether full professional coaching staff like Ellipsis or ex-players or on-field coach captains, whatever the case. The more put into those roles, the more that will come out, most certainly. Tiffany Chow picks up the disc, walks it back.
Great. Tuna, yeah,
has,
great
been
Canadian.
told.
Played for
Canadian.
Traffic for several years there. Played for Honey 1 year here, went back and became a very, very good player with Traffic Ultimate.
Excellent, and doing it here again. Kat Phillips winds up and shoots immediately. Crystal Chung, as we know, one of the best big receivers in the game. When she gets space, there's not many people going to get up or around her.
That connection has been happening since at least 2008, probably before that. The Kat Phillips to Crystal Chung connection certainly had a lot to do with those two girls helping the 2008 under-19 women win silver in Vancouver. There is really just no stopping them when Crystal's in the end zone and Kat's looking for her.
So a little bit of a pulse out of Rogue Alliance, and Ellipsis doing what they can to slam the foot on that, keep it their way, keep their momentum, and you know they'd happily just lull this game out into a game of trading with the wind at your back with this 4-point buffer.
Another look at that amazing grab by Beck Juge.
Beck Brereton.
Thank you.
So we've got the full posse line call coming out of Rogue. We've got the full posse line call coming out of Ellipsis. A more and more common theme we've been noticing. A lot of teams doing it, keeping their sidelines well informed and able to inject their voice into the game a bit more.
Absolutely. I've watched a number of women's games here, and all of the high-level teams have their whole team on the field, every line call, everyone listening, everyone clued in.
So what do we refer to this as, a whole team line call, or do we like the full posse?
I prefer the full posse.
Nice. Well, we'll
FP,
go with that.
It's an FP.
FP, full posse on the field. Let's make it happen.
Yep.
Pull lands out. Sprague walks it to the spot. Kimberly Sprague having a look to Stetner. Stetner to Sprague. Sprague over to Tamas. She can't she gets it but can't move it to 16. Karina Boyle. Emma Lothian to pick up. Or to mark, rather. Carrie Justice taking all the time in the world to get there. Having a look at what her stack's doing.
Latest rule change, we'll talk about the amount of time you can take.
And shoots right
Unlucky.
away. I guess she gets that one after dropping as many bombs as she can. She can slip the trigger once or twice.
So there's a rule change coming into effect, and I'm going to need a little bit of help with this. It's certainly coming into effect before World Championships. Teams will now have 10 seconds to get to the disc and pick it up. And they can be asked by the other team, they can be counted down by the other team to make sure that that happens.
I love all these little adjustments to make the game continue to flow smoother. Here's Kim Sprague with the disc for Rogue. Great grab above the head for Viv Stetner. And a turn. And Perkins is down.
Hugs.
Back up now. She's looking all right. Jogs it off.
Really nice to see the relationship between these two teams. Two most competitive teams at the tournament, laughing, smiling, hugging, getting along.
Having a wonderful time. Beating each other up. Oh, and Tink can't hand on there. Tink, another Barramundi. Now squirts it out to Sprague. Sprague surveying her options. Pops one over the top. Now to Perkins, near sideline. Perkins gives Alexander. Danny Alexander. One to watch. Marked by Justice. She's jacked a big one. She's got Stetner. She's got a goal. Could barely see from the sideline for a second, but what a shot. Arcing flick from Danny Alexander. Hits Stetner. 3-6. That pulse continues to pump just a bit.
That is an incredible throw. Pinpoint accuracy.
Dropping dimes, Danny Alexander. Don't underestimate her as a receiver only, watching her do that.
Yes.
We're going to throw to our game advisor, Ruben Berg. Tell us what you saw on that last point, Ruben.
I just wanted to clarify that new rule that's coming in for the Worlds. It is 10 seconds when the disc is in the central zone. If it's in the end zone or outside the field of play, the players will have 20 seconds. But that is not in effect here at this event.
Thank you, Ruben.
So far in this game, no teams used any timeouts.
So we can see Kylie O'Brien there in the blue hat on the left-hand part of your screen, backing away. She's actually the coach for both Rogue teams that are here at National Championships, both Alliance and Resistance. She's worked really, really hard to keep both teams highly competitive, and they have been so far.
2 medals, 2 clubs, not bad at all. Top 3 of, did we have 12 in the competition this year?
Yes, we had 12.
Not a bad result. Kat Phillips winds up, delivers. Danny Alexander. She's going to get there before Crystal has a chance to start boxing out. And moved forward quickly by the Rogue Alliance. Sprague gets it again at midfield. Sprague. No mark right away. So she takes her time. Had it to Wong and then back to Sprague. Now Rosie Dawson with the disc. Back to Sprague. This upwinder would be big. Continued to keep it in possession. That's Longley with the disc. Longley shaking and baking. That gets away. And Ellipsis will have another chance. I would not be surprised to see them put it again with this wind at their back and the danger at their end zone. But they've got some yards early. They continue. Prentice to Phillips. Phillips winds up. Doesn't give it. Zone from Rogue here. Gives it. And that is just a give for meters. Rogue will start from their own end.
Rogue were showing some excellent patience and shorter passes there, working it up the field into the wind. I think they'll need to do that again if they're going to find success. Both teams struggling a bit with the windy conditions now.
And just a little bit of punt and pin here from Ellipsis. They're resorting to it because it's easy, because they've got the cushion. We'll see if it continues to work for them. If they keep going to the well, will it continue to produce too many chances for Rogue to score this upwinder? They are eventually going to get it. Kim Sprague now. Low one. Oh, and then the next one hits her in the chest, bounces off. Discussion. Prentice, Sprague. Commentary from the Haas boys.
No surprise there.
None at all.
Didn't look from the replay like there was any contact from the
It
Ellipsis
looks to me like
player.
you're both moving, so I couldn't be certain who initiated the contact.
Because I felt like I knew you were going there, so I tried to get there first. Whether or not I actually did.
Okay.
I don't know who initiated it.
Okay, so you're contesting it?
Yeah.
Yep. So contested foul.
Contested foul.
Contested foul. It'll be Kimberly's disc. Correction. Back to the thrower. Diana Wong. Moves it up. Bella C with the disc. Bella gets a bit of a speculator through to Dawson. Now to Sprague. Sprague to Dawson. What a throw from Kimberly Sprague there. Oh, and the two girls wary of laying out into one another, I think. Both opt to let the other get there, and neither goes.
Yeah, unfortunate miscommunication there.
Chow to pick up the Canadian import, as mentioned earlier. Rogue stay in the zone that I must say has been working for him, forcing Ellipsis to huck, and so far the two hucks have not come off. She goes over top, another one there where Ma gets it. Oh, and then the step through for the D. Oh, goodness, what a catch there. Continues to Sprague. Kim Sprague puts a big backhand up, but it's got a whole lot of edge that leads it to the ground.
Rogue's got to remember their patience. They've got to remember that strategy. That's what's moving them up the field.
Working hard
Amazing layout
for
grab there.
a few more easy options. They've got to find a way to open them up so that their throwers aren't forced into those positions. Over top. Chow to Kat Phillips. Back to Chow to Kat Phillips to Georgia Egan Griffiths. She fakes. Travel called. She takes a few steps back. Taps it in. Swings to Ash Martins. Martins fakes the scoop. Fakes the backhand. Gives to Georgia. Egan Griffiths. Pops it to Prentice. Prentice to Chow. Chow fakes once. Up the line. Egan Griffiths watching her toe and concedes, succumbs to the fact that she's out of bounds. Rogue, Kimberly Sprague on the sideline. Diana Wong can't hang on, and Ellipsis. Do it early, do it quick, make them pay.
Yeah, Rogue know they will be punished every time if they turn it over on their own end line.
And that was Caroline Ma doing the punishment that time. Here's another look.
Great decision making by the Ellipsis player.
Caroline Ma.
Timeout call.
Timeout called.
Emma Lothian now with the disc. Jacks it straight away. Out the back, punt and pin. Maybe that was the plan. Carrie Justice.
So as we mentioned earlier, a bit of a clarification, well, a second clarification, because Ruben did. An addition to the appendix at Worlds will be that players have 10 seconds when the disc is on the field to collect the disc and put it into play. When it moves outside the field, they will have 20 seconds. So that's not something you'll see at Nationals, but when they use the appendix at Worlds, you will.
And Carrie Justice throws a wobbler. Hannah Mangan, a Mundy, picks it out of the air. Danny Alexander on her 2 ex-factory teammates. Stetner picks that one off. Goes the other way straight away. Perkins is there. They strike back after the timeout, 4-7. That's what we want to see. It's downwind, but they got what they're looking for.
That's a couple of loopy throws into the end zone in a row that have gotten Rogue points.
Here's Stetner cleaning up that pass from Mangan. And straight away, shooting to the end zone. Perkins gets a little bit of separation. Catches safe. Beautiful goal. Beautiful shot.
So Rogue brings it within 3.
A wonderful setting here in Ballarat, Nikki. With the grandstand filling up now. We've had a great weekend of ultimate all around. We just saw the Colony boys win their final. The Plunder, the Colony
Colony was
going to
win the final
over
yeah.
Colony Pillage. But it's just been a great day walking around these fields, or a great weekend. Last 4 days walking around, seeing a lot of ultimate. Just a great level here now at these AUCs.
It has been. It is a noticeable difference this year to me. The level, I've mostly seen women's play. The level of women's play is incredible this tournament. Something worth noting was, not so much the men's final, but the men's 3rd and 4th place was a Victorian contest between Heads of State and Hot Chili, with Heads of State coming out the victor there. So,
our defending champions still go home with a bronze. And Sprague sends an upwind pull that Phillips picks up. Prentice against this zone now that Rogue has seen a little bit of success from. Quick to Martins. Martins to Chow. Chow up the line to Phillips. Phillips shoots right away. It's low. And we've got an interception there. Rogue now with a chance to go upwind. Rosie Dawson to Kimberly Sprague. Couple of fire tails there. Near sideline. Shots taken. Not going to come back inbounds. And Kat Phillips runs it back up to midfield and sets it in with a swing to Martins. Martins to Chow. Chow through the middle. Has Ma. Prentice working well through this cup now. Our Ellipsis shot to the end zone looked easy to Egan Griffiths. And that is halftime. Ellipsis up 8-4 over Rogue Alliance. What do we got to see in the second half? Nikki, we've been talking about it a little bit, but what do we need to see from Rogue?
Can I just interject with what we're going to see at halftime first?
Yeah, let's talk about this halftime. What are we going to see?
Well, we're going to see the men's Dulio, I believe. Is that a true statement?
That should be. We saw the women's in between games. We normally get the luxury of seeing the men's Dulio at the halftime.
Yep.
We've had some excellent races. 2 years ago, Brendan Ashcroft was the defending Dulio champion and took off with a great lead and ran off the field.
I remember that.
It was a bizarre circumstance.
It was. The Haas boys found it to be a hilarious circumstance.
They did, and that doesn't surprise me once again about those Haas boys.
No. No. Do you remember who won last year?
I wasn't at Nationals last year. It was my first Nationals in 9 years that I haven't been able to attend.
We're glad you're back.
I'm happy to be back. But I did not catch the Dulio results from last year. If anybody wants to chime in online and let us know last year's Dulio winner, if you know, we'd be happy to know.
Great. All right, so talking about what we need to see from Rogue, that was your question, from Rogue next half. Look, it's hard to say. They're going to have to do better into the wind. They've had some great patience into the wind, and it's worked for them, and then they'll just let that drop for one throw, and Ellipsis will easily intercept. I also think they've got, and I don't know the answer because I'm not Kylie O'Brien, their coach, but they've got some serious defense to contend with from Ellipsis. They're facing a team of very, very fit girls who are positioning themselves well, who are all arms and legs, who have a lot of energy.
Yeah, they're going to make it very, very difficult. You're absolutely right. The upwinds has to be a very cherished possession for them now. They absolutely need to get these upwinders to have a chance of making a game of this. Downwind, both teams can get away with a punt and pin situation. They're both working it a bit. The Rogue zone, I like. It's generating a few blocks on Ellipsis's chances. And we're going to stop right there. We'll get back to it. We've got the Dulio set. We've, no surprise, a Sublime boy wearing his jocks alone besides his Tino shirt. Not quite sure who we've got in the Dulio lineup here, but ready and excited to see who comes flying out. Wonder if we do have an Ash Grub Kid on field is what we do have. Kid has been removed. That is a Hempel child. He just wants to see Daddy start the race. And here we go. They're off and running. Colony, Braden Cheng out to the early lead. He's way out in front. No one's going to get him. Braden Cheng for the win. Colony Plunder win the tournament and the Dulio. He came out flying.
He's pretending to limp. He really is limping. What's he doing?
Not too sure, but that dude was quick. Here it is again.
He was way out ahead.
Anyone get anywhere near him, Nikki?
No, they're a little bit closer by the end, but look at him.
That's a 7 to 10 meter lead by 30 meters.
I think we can credit his starting form for some of that. Maybe he's been practicing. Yeah,
maybe he has. Really good at push-ups, perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah. Or just, working on his Dulio form because he knew that this was his moment.
Dulio or die.
Thanks, Steph.
Yeah, that's just the training mantra, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So also, Nikki Smith, next year's national championship, we were both at the annual general meeting. We hear that the format will change to a 12-team championship bracket.
True.
Tell us about what you know, why that decision was made and what it will hope to provide.
Sure. Well, that already changed this year for the women, and that proved to be one of the most successful things that's happened for women's ultimate in a long time. So we have actually 10 Australian women's club teams here. We have one New Zealand team who's done themselves proud, and we have a collection of girls who played women's Division 2 nationals who've come to fill that 12th spot in the competition. And we also had 15 women's Division 2 teams play a few weeks ago at Division 2 nationals. So we've had
27 women's teams. That equals Nikki playing nationals this year. That's fantastic.
It's the best thing that's happened in a really long time. In terms of the men's competition, as most people know, men's Division 2 has been going strong for a number of years, between 15 and 20 teams now regularly attending that event.
A great final this year.
Tell us a little bit about the final.
We will soon, but keep going, Nikki.
All right. So it has been floated for a couple of years now that the men's division, the open division rather, will go down to 12 teams, and that will happen next year. There's a number of reasons for it. One of the reasons is logistics. It is incredibly difficult to find enough fields to hold, well, it was previously 32, and then 12 and 16 is a number a bit less than that, it's 28. I am a maths teacher.
He was quicker than me.
Thanks. So part of it is simply the logistics of holding a tournament like this. This tournament has been a great tournament. I think one of the drawbacks is having fields in different locations. There's been 3 separate field locations here. It's in a regional area, which has its benefits and its drawbacks, but the days of hosting a large number of teams at one location in a major center are close to done, and people who've tried to put in a bid doing that will know the frustration of trying to find the fields. So that's one reason. The other reason is to make our pinnacle event in Australia a truly elite top level event. So by reducing to 12, it means the difference between the top and the bottom teams is significantly reduced. It means that, you know, there aren't games that are 15-1, 15-2. It means you've really got the top tier competing. And hopefully it's, in both the men's and women's, hopefully it's a really motivational thing. Like, you shouldn't just walk into a national championship. That shouldn't happen. That's been happening in Australia for a while. It should be something that your team, you know, blood, sweat and tears the whole season to qualify for the pinnacle event. And so that's part of it. Absolutely.
Really making those spots worth earning. And the other benefit that will go along with all that is the growth of that Div 2 division. Make it bigger, make it more competitive.
Absolutely.
You know, that means there are going to be lots of strong players and strong teams in that Div 2 division, growing it, which just makes competitive ultimate in the country that much better, bigger.
Exactly. And something they're looking at doing for the Open Div 2 and possibly the women's, I'm not sure, to make it a more attractive event is by whichever region wins the event gets an extra berth at the Div 1 event next year. So by winning that Div 2 event, you've not only won gold at a nationals, but you've also increased the chance of your team going to Div 1 nationals next year.
All sounds like good stuff to me. We're just out of the halftime, not the timeout. 8-4 to Ellipsis. Rogue pulling and Ellipsis receiving with the wind at their back. So advantage continues to be on that Ellipsis side. We will need a colossus effort from Rogue.
I'd love to see it. I'd love a tight game.
Crazier things have happened. So
True
let's
fact.
see. Let's see what happens here. Ash Martins picks up the disc. The zone is employed. Sprague on the mark now to Chow. She goes through far side to Phillips. Phillips winds up as she's been doing all game long. She's got Chung there. Wow, what a shot by Kat Phillips. What an eye to see it and just put it on a dime. I didn't see Crystal at first and thought she was just shooting for space again, for field position. And by the time I looked up and realized how close that dropped, we could do nothing but admire Kat Phillips' backhand throwing. Wow, what a shot that was.
Wow, yeah, I couldn't see Crystal either, and I saw Viv Stetner running incredibly fast. Well, she knew. Yeah, my jaw literally dropped open. That was amazing.
I was looking at your jaw. I had to look past it. Your open jaw.
My jaw got in the way, I'm sorry.
To try and find out what was happening.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, one more thing for the Alliance to overcome now.
That's right. Yeah, a difference of 5, that is a very... My feeling has always been 4 is your borderline, and once you get past that, comeback's not out of the question, but it's
kind of just hang on for dear life.
Yep, exactly.
Make the best of a bad thing.
Yep.
So let's... fingers are still crossed over here.
That's right, and Rogue's got the wind with them. Let's see what they can do. Ellipsis girl's getting ready. It's Lyra Meehan jumping up and down. She's come a long way. She was another one of the silver medal winning junior girls in Vancouver 2008.
And what club did she play with last year?
She didn't. I believe she played with her university,
Yeah.
but she hasn't played Club Ultimate in a few years.
Okay, thank you. Carrie Justice puts up the pole. Kim Sprague picks it up. Pops in front. Bree Edgar. Bree to Sprague. Sprague. Big shot to Perkins. She hangs on in front of Justice. Gets it out to Minescu. She can't get it. Too far in front. These are the ones Rogue needs to haul in.
They need every single one of those. And look, that was a tough throw to catch regardless. That was right over her head as she was running away into the end zone. Carrie Justice not quite getting to the defense there.
But did enough on the mark.
Yep.
So here we go. She's got the disc again. Carrie Justice walks to the line, greeted by Lothian, and still putting that backhand up no matter what. And 4 people there. Bree Edgar down. Disc not caught. No calls thus far, but there was a foul called. Bree on the field. Hopefully she's okay, getting some attention now. Coach O'Brien's there. Our game advisor on the field. let's just have another look there while we're hoping for the best for Bree. Here's the play. Disc is up, floating. There's a pack. There's Bree. She goes up first.
Looks like she comes down successfully and someone runs into her. Maybe Michaela accidentally as she comes down. Maybe steps on
knees
her
bent
foot.
and she went down straight away. She's on her back now.
They're holding her head. Oh dear.
Hoping for medical attention. Angus Keenan on the field. Very tense moment. Everybody only concerned about the well-being of Bree Edgar. First aid attentions arrived.
So a stretcher being brought out onto the field. Both teams taking this time while Bree Edgar is being looked after to reconvene, to discuss strategy. And Bree has a few experienced people attending to her.
Again, hoping for all the best with Bree. Not sure of the nature of the injury at all. Our initial replay didn't show anything conclusive, and we're not looking to have a second look at this stage.
So Bree Edgar has been helped off the field on a stretcher. Now I saw her, she came by and she was smiling, and I did hear her say, "What happened? Did we get the D?"
So obviously in good spirits, which is a breath of fresh air after a tense moment there while Bree was being tended to.
Yeah. We looked at the replay again. It seems she went up for the dish, she came down, and possibly another player, as she came down, may have contacted the top of her head with an elbow, may have pushed her head back. So I think her neck isn't feeling fantastic at the moment, so all precautions are being taken, but hopefully she's going to be just fine.
All our thoughts definitely with her.
Yeah.
So we've got to play some ultimate again after that. That's again, all our thoughts with Bree, but we are going to get back to this game.
Now the clock here has been set back to 58 minutes to make up for the time. And while our viewers at home can't see the scoreboard, the electronic scoreboard, it looks like there's some people over there having a look at it. Instead of a 100-minute game, it will be a 103-minute game. So the clock on your screen has been reset correctly, and it is starting again.
Kimberly Sprague will put us back into play. Sprague goes wide, Stetner opts not, and Tamas picks it up. Tense moment there. Tamas back to Sprague. Sprague to Stetner. Stetner far sideline to Sprague. Great throw back to Tamas. In front, tries to get it to Manescu, but Mangan steps in front. And Ellipsis making plays again. Carrie Justice, look out for that backhand, because she's going to want it.
Pick cold.
Pick cold. Carrie Justice set to put it into play. We've got 232 people watching this live stream, more than we had on the men's game. This as this goes up, floaty pack grab, back of the pack to go the other way. Rogue is bailed out only to throw it away. Meehan picks it up 10 meters out. 1 meter out now is Dingham.
Good patience.
Great patience. Dingham gets it back from Meehan, gets the goal, 11-4.
And Rogue just cannot make those mistakes. If they're going to make a great defensive play like that, they absolutely have to treasure that disc. They had it going downwind. That was a big chance.
That's 10-4 correction. 10-4 there, little fat buddy. Always like an opportunity to say that, but I would rather.
You could say that about both of us this commentating this round.
Yeah, absolutely. So 6 points, Smithers.
6 points difference. That is a big, big difference for Rogue to overcome.
Unsurmountable, some would think.
Some would think that. Let's not say that yet. Let's not bring out the U word just yet.
The
unsurmountable.
I got you.
Yeah, any sort of unwords, let's not have them
It's
quite yet.
also surmountable.
That is a true fact.
Though I've never heard surmountable used without the prefix.
It was a surmountable obstacle. I think you can say it was a surmountable obstacle. I don't think it gets said
Then
enough or
my
much.
vernacular has just grown. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I think your vernacular is about to grow a little bit more. Is this true? You're off to a country that speaks a different language?
I am going to Nicaragua. I'm moving in just over a week, and I have to polish up my Spanish very much.
Yes, so that when you come back, well, it'll help you there. And when you come back, maybe we can do a bilingual podcast or bilingual commentating.
We can
when you
work
come
that
back.
out. I would love to.
Sí,
make that
podemos
happen.
hacerlo, listo.
Sí,
es un
sí.
plan.
Claro.
Claro. Ah, there you go. You're sorted. That's all you need.
Here comes the pull, Justice. Sprague pushes it to the ground. Wong. Sprague. Sprague puts it up. Wind gets it. Michaela Dingham steps in front. And Ellipsis.
Michaela Dingham is a firetail and a formidable defender. She just has a style that it's all arms and legs. There's no getting around her. She will get there first.
Quick woman as well. Here is Justice looking against
the Rogue Alliance zone. Puts it to Mangan. Hot one, but she handles it. Mangan dumps. Mandy gets up. Keeps it going. Now Nat Ray, that beautiful hand block earlier in the game. Pops to Mandy Fung. Mandy gets some space with her pivot. Mangan pops through, gets the disc. Moves it forward. Justice gets it. Throws a backhand. Why not? Michaela Dingham. Nice little jump. Gets herself a goal. 12-4. Ellipsis looking dominant.
That's the second goal Ellipsis has had in the last recent few, where they just stick someone out the back of the end zone there, just off to the side. Normally wouldn't be considered a threat, but they have the throwers.
Do they ever? That Carrie Justice seems to just wind up a backhand every time she gets it, and it's very seldom a fake. She's just finding a way to get rid of it, and it is successful.
Yeah, she's had a very, very high percentage game. She's had a large number of big throws. I think she's had 2 mistakes in the whole game and a lot of very successful completions.
11-4. I said 11-4, didn't I? No,
I think you said 12-4. You were anticipating the point being added, but it had been added already.
I'm always one step ahead of myself.
And of Mike Palmer, who's doing a great job producing this segment.
Absolutely. Phil Shields on the camera, doing a great job all weekend long. He's done a ridiculous job following the action like a magnet. And then, of course, Mikey Palmer, who puts the whole production together, loads up the van, takes the whole set field to field.
Makes the replays.
Puts up scoreboards, tells me stuff that I missed, does it all. Make sure you get behind Ulti TV, Sky Magazine, talk to your board members, tell them you want more TV, get Ulti TV and Sky Magazine to every event in Australia. Let's see it happen.
It's a great idea. I'm a board member and I'm saying that's a great idea.
Wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Here is Mian. Winds up a backhand, now looks the forehand. Winds up the backhand, now looks the forehand. Phillips. Forward to Brereton. Brereton looks to engage, then upfield again. Kat Phillips seems to always get space. Now a forehand blade that was meant for Mandy. Max, almost a second chance at it. Rogue disc. Coach barking orders for the defense as Rogue sets sail. Sprague looks for the big one, but Phillips steps under, gets the D. McLeod back to Phillips, but not quite. Turnover, Rogue taking their time. Sprague towards the disc. Rogue picks up. Looking for options. Backhand break over top, Stetner. Upfield, big gainer to 17. Looking for options. Goes to dump. Perkins now. Center of the field. Winds up a big backhand to the end zone. Back of the end zone. Too far into the city of Ballarat sign. A nice attack there from Rogue, but needed a few more throws, a bit more patience.
Yep, those are the throws that are coming off for Ellipsis. They are not coming off for Rogue, and I think that's why we're seeing a 7-point difference here.
So Kat Phillips with the disc. She's been dominant as usual. We talk about Carrie Justice's throws. They've been fantastic, but this really is a team of all-stars, and led by Kat Phillips. She really just does everything out there. That backhand throw particularly. Here's Mian in her own end zone. They call this Callahan country. Oh, what a cheeky flick over top. And then there it is again. Look at that upwind backhand. Danny Alexander gets rid of it, but Kat Phillips gets out of trouble in her own end zone and gets it halfway up the other way. Stetner to Sprague, and the crowd reacting.
think Danny said something to the Ellipsis player after she defended that.
Ooh.
I think it was nice, but I'd be interested to see the replay in a minute.
Oh, Nat Ray stepping in front of Bella C and getting the D. Phillips again. Meehan on her goal line. A high release flick again. Wow, she uses that throw well. Nat Ray. Oh, and a pickup by Tony. They are helping each other out in black right now. Mandy to Meehan. She jacks it. That's all Danny all day. Danny comes the other way to Perkins. Can't handle it. Ellipsis again. Meehan. And again, it's her only throw today. This time it fails her as Stettner jumps up and gets the D. Sprague over the disc again. Rogue on the attack. Sprague puts it. Perkins there. She's got it. Straight away, 17. Wanted to go straight back to Perkins, but a smothering mark from Phillips. Swings to Stettner on the doorstep in front of Sprague. Roger back on the board.
So, go ahead. Something that we'll just finish watching the replay here. We'll talk about the Ellipsis coach, Matt Hill. Beautiful, makes it look easy. Danny has had at least 2, if not more, of their 5 points this game. Speaking to Ellipsis coach Matt Hill before the game, something that he said is, one of the underpinnings of the way that they play is that Ellipsis doesn't accept turnovers. Obviously, you're going to have some, but at very high levels, certainly in international play, and certainly probably more so in open, turnovers are simply not accepted, and Ellipsis has decided that they don't accept them either, so that's the way that they train and that's the way that they play, and that's definitely showing today the difference between the teams in terms of acceptance of turnovers. Ellipsis aren't throwing things, for the most part, that result in a turnover, and Rogue is simply taking more chances and hoping to get away with those extra turnovers, and it's not working for them.
And just a bit of an update on Bree Edgar's situation. She is still being minded for on the sideline. The ambulance has arrived. Ash Martins, a member of the opposing team, Ellipsis, is a doctor and has entirely removed herself from the game until the ambulance had arrived to give her full medical attention to Bree Edgar. So just a wonderful thing to see out of Ash Martins as we continue to hope for the best from Bree.
All right, guys, it's Mike here from the booth. I'm going to the stream for the first time this tournament. I just wanted to say Steph Rapazzo is one of the best commentators I've worked with. You're sensational, mate. You're the voice of Australian Ultimate to me. The stuff you come up with cracks me up. I love it. It adds character to the game, and your passion for Ultimate is amazing. So thank you, brother. I'm sure we'll be able to fly you back from Nicaragua for a bit of commentary sessions here and there. So thank you very much, mate. You're a legend.
Oh, Mikey, you're just making my heart melt. That's very nice of you to say. I love being here. It's been great. I took a year off of playing, and I'm heading off now. So there's no place I'd rather be than behind the mic here with Ulti TV. So thank you very much for spreading the love. And I will, of course, give some much-deserved thanks to Nikki Smithers as she prepares for a couple of twins coming soon, and she's putting a lot of time in with her Div 2 organization for the women, and of course to join us at the tournament on the board and here in the press box for the big final. A wonderful job commentating with you, Nikki. You've done a great job. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, thank you, Steph. It's been a pleasure. It's been easy, and it's been very fun commentating with you.
It's a love fest, isn't it?
It is a love fest, and I'm going to bring Liam Rosen into this because he's the only other person I've ever commentated with. Oh, no, one other BJ is also excellent, but Liam Rosen has been my partner before now in this, and you are on par.
Excellent.
Which
Well,
is a big
Liam
compliment.
Rosen and I, no problem. I got that all day. Just kidding. Liam Rosen and I did do our first game together in Japan. We did a very controversial game, the Canada-Japan game. So we've also got that link that we've had some games together, so this was seemingly meant to be Smithers.
Absolutely.
Right here in Ballarat.
Yep.
Ash Martins. Back on the field, Tiffany Chow. Oh, Martins clacks some hooves there. She's down hard, but up quick. Prentice with the disc. Now to Martins. Phillips, sorry. Prentice back to Phillips. In front to Martins. Back sideline to Phillips. On the doorstep once again, our Ellipsis. Pop pass forward to Prentice, scoop over top, but she can't go. The defense is there, and Rogue have the disc. Stetner to Sprague. Sprague to Lothian. Lothian pops in front, Sprague again. Fakes the backhand, looks again. Up line. She's got the gainer to Dawson. Dawson to Alexander. Great catch behind her by Alexander. And she's taking a shot the far side. Wow, perfect accuracy from Danny Alexander. Hit Courtney Patty for the goal. Another one on the board. Let's have another look at this. First, the catch from Danny behind her. Opposite hand, no problem. I got that. And I'll just step into a big arcing blade that'll land right on the money.
Close on D there. Great jump.
Great jump on D, but beautiful shot by Danny. 6-11. We still got a bit of game left.
Yep, surmountable.
Surmountable.
And we got
indeed.
Since we're going on the Love Fest, guys, I just wanted to shout out to Phil on the camera. Phil, you've been doing a marvellous job this weekend. I don't know if you feel much before this, but you really caught on and you're a champion.
He just thanked Michael off mic. Just so you know.
Oh, I turned myself on the stream anyway. We should probably turn some love out to Ruben out there as well, mate. You've done a great job this weekend. It's been great to add you into the broadcast, so thanks to you.
It's been a pleasure.
And we're basically testing this setup of talking to Ruben for Worlds, so I just wanted to thank all the people who contributed to the Kickstarter to get us over there to do some coverage. It's going to be the best thing you've ever seen.
I cannot wait to watch it. It's going to be me, 2 brand new twins, and every single game coming from World Championships. I can't wait to watch.
Exciting stuff. A wonderful implementation, the on-field mic with the game advisor, and what a perfect test subject we have here in Australia than Ruben Berg, the guru of rules around the world in Ultimate. Phillips to Chow. Chow scoop over top. Ma bobbles, catches. Back to Chow. Chow looks for the big shot. Now to Ash Martins. Martins through the cup. Swing to Phillips. Phillips waits and then gets it to Ma. Blind for the gainer. Almost a hand on that. Egan Griffiths. Far sideline, 20 meters out. Big dump to Phillips. Swing to Martins. Martins puts a big one. Looking for the corner. Egan Griffiths there. Also the defender. Rosie Dawson gets up. Roger off and running the other way. Near sideline now to Sprague. Sprague breaks. Has Stetner. Stetner up line. Bella C puts a big one up. Perkins there. Can't get it with Phillips bearing down the other way. Chow picks up. Zone still working for Rogue for the time being. Martins to Prentice. Prentice to Chow. Chow swings across to Phillips. She picks it up low. Back on her feet and back to Chow. Chow to Martins. Martins flips over top to Prentice. Prentice continues to Phillips. Phillips crosses the midway and stays patient with her swing. Martins. Pop to Prentice. Working well against this cup. Very patient. What a great no-look throw from Martins there. Ma. Phillips. Phillips. To Prentice. Only a meter out now. Now Phillips. Back to Chow. Shot to the end zone. Defended by Stetner. Bend but don't break. Denied for the candy.
Beautiful D by Stetner there. Lightning reflexes.
Here it is again. Oh, what? What a time to come in for the D.
That
And
was-
this one, unfortunately, preservation of greatness there.
Unfortunate.
So it was a beautiful D by Stetner to shut the door. But an errant throw only gives Ellipsis another chance from about 25 meters out on the sideline.
Ash Martin's back in the game after helping attend to Briedgar.
And Ash is checked into play. Pop pass to Prentice. Prentice looks through the around, gets to Chow, back to Martins. Martins errant throw, Wind gets it. No pressure on. Up to Sprague, great catch. Puts up a big backhand. Martins is there. Too far in front for Deborah Lee. It sails out of bounds. And Ellipsis will have to go upwind.
Yeah, if Rogue's going to be on D, that's the exact spot on the field they want to be defending in.
This plays to their zone's advantage. If Sprague's got to be big on this dump mark. Unless they throw over top. Here it is. Ma to Martins to Chow. Working against the zone. We've been seeing it for a while now. The pace of this game has changed from early. I believe that is down. They will have a conversation.
Crowd
Ellipsis
seems to think
sideline
it's
agrees,
down.
and Kat not long before she agrees with everybody as well.
Looking at the replay, yeah, it slid along the ground there.
It hits a bit of grass just a bit early. Stetner, Perkins, bid from behind from Ash Martin, still putting the pressure on with those kind of bids. Perkins, oh, looks to sell. This wind is picking up people. These throws are getting difficult, but another turnover there. Ellipsis
To pick up, Tiffany Chow taking her time to the disc. A breather, not a bad idea after this much of a point. To Martins, to Chow. Chow fakes through the zone. Now to Martins, a little flippy one. Chow handles. Chow shaking, baking, ripping it to Phillips. Great air bounce in that throw, but the next one gets away from Chow. Kimberly Sprague to pick up the disc. Sprague, beautiful break throw to get it to Stetner. Stetner forwards to Sprague. Sprague backhand, big gainer to Dawson. Dawson quick to the end zone to Perkins for the goal. 7-11, let's get some Slurpees. We're back in it. Are we back in it?
We
It's
could
back
be
to 4.
It's back to 4. That is absolutely surmountable.
So surmountable, like plausible.
Yes,
We're past.
completely doable.
It's on.
It is on.
Ellipsis looked a little bit more rushed than their offense did in the first half on those possessions, and Rogue just kept at those downwinds and until they banged her in. And I think we got a late timeout here. We do have a timeout by Rogue. We'll be back with action momentarily.
Lothian with the pull. Meehan to Justice. Oh my God, how predictable, but how awesome. Rips it right away. A perfect shot
Wow.
to McLeod. Unbelievable, the bomb dropping consistency out of Kerry Justice. Just pick it up and rip a backhand. And we've got a player down from Rogue.
I believe it's Danny Alexander. So we'll just finish watching. That's what happened. It's on the ground, landed pretty hard.
Landed hard, contact on the landing.
She's getting up.
Getting up, that's good to see. On her own.
Excellent, that's
Even
great to
better
see.
to see she will sub off. Discussion perhaps about what happened before she subs off.
Okay. Actually, the question that I would ask would be, if I was running in the same line that I was running in, like the space that I had taken, would I have been running in the same direction as where the disc was going?
Generally, yes. I think it was going too fast for you to have a bid, but I'm not certain. Ruben probably had a better look at it.
Yeah, my thought was there was definitely contact. I think it was always going to be a catch there, was my view.
Okay. All right, fine. That's right.
Goal conceded. Ruben, as you heard, gave his opinion when asked for. As far as the contact, he said that he agrees it happened, but that it didn't prevent that catch from being had. Ruben, tell us a bit more about it from your perspective.
Yes, there was definitely a collision there where both players were essentially moving to that same spot simultaneously, and that could be enough to be able to call a foul. However, from my perspective, it looked like the disc was always going to carry over those two players and go to the other receiver there. So that was the advice I gave, and the players accepted that advice.
We watched as you were explaining that, and I agree with your opinion.
And so just for the viewers at home who aren't familiar with the role of a game advisor, is they signal what happens on the field. When they are asked by players, they can give their opinions to help. They can also be asked for rule clarifications, and that was an absolutely brilliant example of two teams using that resource available to them to sort out a situation. So that was a great example of the spirit of the game and using a game advisor appropriately. Quick shout out to Steph Malker, who's watching from Canada. So we've got an international audience.
Nice, Malker. How you going? Glad you're watching, as we are glad everyone's watching here at Alti TV.
All 200 plus people. We are thankful and we hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
Malker, many successes in Australian Ultimate, but none she probably holds higher than her mixed national championship with Supernova. A brilliant campaign.
She talks about it all the time. Every time we Skype, that's all she'll talk about.
That's it. Justice rips one again. It's the pull. Picked up quick. Stetner with the disc. Stetner, ooh, vicious fake. Backhand. Complete 41 with the disc for Rogue. Centered. And again, Lothian with the disc now. Wants her forehand. Now looks to break, but doesn't have enough behind it. Sails away. And Ellipsis will pick up. Kerry Justice specifically.
Wonder what Kerry Justice is going to do. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I'm going to go with
please.
Heaving backhand.
All right. I'm going to put my money on that. Though there is a zone, that probably won't stop her.
Big, buttery backhand biscuit out of KJ. What is... Oh, okay, a hammer. That's allowed, I guess.
Oh, that was your second choice. Oh, unlucky.
Mangan can't handle it. A bit of a wobbly hammer out of KJ. Perkins, great bid, but gives it right back to Ellipsis, does Rogue. And Kerry picks it up. There's the backhand. Lothian can't get there. Oh, over Tony too, and Stetner intercepts, going the other way. These ladies loading up shots all over the place. Perkins gets down on that one. Perkins breaks with the backhand. Tamas collects. Tamas working hard on the pivot. Back to Lothian. Stetner. Far sideline. 20 meters out. Shot to end zone. Has Perkins. Perkins on the move. What a grab by Perkins! 2 hands. Big layout. Shot by Stetner just in front. And what a play
Crowd
to
loves
make
it.
it count. Crowd loves it. Here it is again. There's the first shot. Now to the end zone. That one's going. Perkins putting on the jet. Lays out, 2 hands. Fully horizontal. What a grab. Nice soft landing too.
Yeah, slides nicely. That is beautiful. So we're back within that 4-point surmountable difference.
Surmountable.
Yep.
Anything can happen.
It could. We haven't got a lot of time. We got, according to this clock, we got 10 and a half minutes left.
Does that include our 3-minute edition?
It
We've
does
been
on our
adjusted?
clock.
Good,
Yeah, our
wonderful.
viewers can see the adjusted clock. The here in the stadium, the clock says 92 minutes, and so 3 minutes will be added on at the end of that.
Excellent. Here is the pull for Alliance. The wind has dropped down a little bit now. Gusty here and there, but substantially to that middle portion of the game where it was really a one-way wind, one-direction wind. It's dropped down significantly. It's still at the moment. Chow to Martins. Martins to Chow. 4 seasons in a day, they say you get in Victoria. Phillips,
do.
Phillips now. Prentice, Phillips again. Phillips shoots through the middle. Quick pop pass to Prentice. Now to Chow on the run. Fakes a couple of backhands. Swings to Phillips, far side. Phillips calibrating. Popping to Chow. Couple of fakes. Back to Phillips. Big swing from Phillips to Martins. Martins. Patient to Phillips. Quick to Chow with a bid in front. But that one counts for the goal. Manescu can't get there in time. 13-8.
So, Steph, something else I was talking to the to Ellipsis about beforehand is video analysis of their game. That's something else they've looked into. Oh, great layout. That's something else they've looked into this season to help improve their game, reduce their turnovers, fine-tune their defense. So on the sideline here, we have their videographer also recording this game, which I'm sure they will go back and analyze.
I'm sure they'll also love the time they get under the Ulti TV tower cam.
Yes.
High view cam, the high view cam that they get with Ulti TV. They had 2 games with us, so they'll surely be able to use that footage for future development as well.
And I imagine they'll use our commentary to help them strategically.
Absolutely. So, you know, I don't pick the schedules or anything like that, but a little bit of encouragement, and I might be able to help out. So if you're feeling greasy, it's always worth a conversation. It's always worth a conversation.
Absolutely.
Carry Justice set to pull. Here it comes, and the wind back up. As I said moments ago, it was still. The wind, we've got gusts coming through again. Right to left on your screen. Downwind for Rogue. Kim Sprague with the disc. Far sideline, a shot up line, beautiful shot up line to Stetner. Now Danny Alexander, Justice towards the corner, be careful of that fence. And they were, and didn't get it, ran out of field. And Carey Justice picks it up to go the other way. Carey Justice on her own goal line. Carey, that was incredible.
Fantastic.
And I loved it. She's been throwing them all game. She's called a foul. That we got away from her. Sorry for the chuckle, Carey, but that was brilliant. I've loved the way you've just been ripping those out of nowhere all weekend. And that was very funny how that got away from you. Carey Justice
Still has the disc.
Heckles from the crowd.
What kind of heckles are we getting?
I couldn't hear. It was chanting. I couldn't hear what they were saying. Probably not a thrower.
I think it could have been a carry to net Ray. Oh,
Unlucky.
bobbles above her head and drops. Stetner. She's got such quick fakes. Whipping to Perkins. Perkins to Stetner, can't handle. Mandy tips the disc over. Justice picks it up. She's got one deep. That's upwind. I don't know if Justice has that throw even. Baby. Brereton. Justice again. Now in a power position, she will. That's a big rip. Sprague there, though. Sprague, a big body, takes care of it. Forwarded to Chung and up line to Stetner. Stetner rips one. Perkins there, Justice there, over Justice, into Perkins. Goal for Alliance. We're still in this thing. 9-13.
Yep. Could have gone either way at half, but Rogue has kept themselves in this match.
Here's a look at that D. Sprague getting big, getting up. Take it away. And here's the goal at the other end. Setting it up. Stetner rips a backhand over Justice's head and right into Perkins for a goal.
Coach Kylie O'Brien calling the line. Another FP here, full posse, listening to what's going to happen on their D line.
This point Rogue needs. We need it. This is a game maker.
This is it, absolutely.
I want it.
Yeah, if
This
it
point-
becomes 14-9,
It's a momentum sweater.
yeah, that'll be 6 in a row that Rogue has to get, and I hesitate to reuse the word insurmountable, but it'll be close.
Keep it surmountable.
That's what we want.
Maybe even mountable.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
Well, that's a further prefix, isn't it?
Yeah, we're getting rid of prefixes one by one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Able.
Oh, that's just the suffix. But it works. It kind of works in this context.
To some end. Here we go. Sprague. Set to pull. And it lands. Ash picks it up. 10 meters shy of half. Back to Chow. Minescu tight on the mark. In front of Prentice. Rogue
Pressure
with
paid
a
off.
chance. This is the one. This is the tidy up winder they need desperately. Let's see how they come out. Sprague. Great break. Chung. Far sideline. Wong. Back to Sprague again. Sprague. That is up. That was so dangerously close, but I would love to see another one. From my angle, it looked dangerously close, but not touching.
I actually might have best perspective on this.
What
I thought that it was up. I'm looking directly in the line.
As we both are,
Yep.
It looked dangerously close. When it left her hand, I was like, that is surely going to touch the ground, and it didn't. But conceded.
Ooh.
Tough one to concede.
Might have knocked a couple blades, but I don't think it did.
Let's see what happens with Ellipsis. Disc in hand now after the call. Egan Griffiths to Ma. Quickly to Prentice. Prentice drops to Egan Griffiths. Far sideline. Travel called. Responded quickly. Play continues. Phillips now on a super dump. Forwards quick out of Egan Griffiths' range. Just over top. And Rogue get the disc back. A long way to go, but a juicy reward awaits. Sprague, beautiful throw over top. Breaks the zone wide open. 41 now. That's Patty now back to Sprague. Wong. Oh, A close contest of a throw there through the zone. Sprague gets it across. Again. That one's up. It's floaty. Kat Phillips is in the neighborhood, and it's hers. She picks it up. She's going quick, and there's an injury on the field. Laura Manescu back on her feet.
All good? No call.
All good. No call. And Kat Phillips deciding that she gets the disc. Or no, it goes back to Tiffany, and now to Kat Phillips. Ma Phillips. Phillips with the disc to Martins. Martins. Now to Phillips. Phillips far sideline. Gets an up liner, but too far in front for Ma. Just off target. Rogue again. Chance to go upwind, and again that wind has just settled. Bella C, max it, can't hang on. Martins, Chow, Prentice, Ellipsis the other way again. Ma, Phillips, far sideline, 20 meters out, shot to end zone. Ma for the goal. 14-9. We're looking at Rubenberg. Give us his match point indication. And Ellipsis's strength is showing.
It was a tied half until now. It was 5-5. But by taking the lead 6-5 in this half and building on their lead from last half, Ellipsis puts themselves within 1 point of the championship.
Is the U word,
I'm not
couth now?
You can pull it out if you want.
Unsurmountable? Is that
six in a row is an enormous ask for Rogue Alliance.
I've won 6-0 against people before, like children. It's pretty fun. I still had fun.
Yeah.
I used to run youth camps.
Okay.
Just so I could set up games that I could win by shutout margins.
Okay.
That's not the real reason. It actually never even happened.
But it's nice to talk about.
Yeah,
it's a slightly different context.
I wouldn't mind putting myself in a situation like that to dominate.
It feels good. It feels great.
Yeah, sure.
And our crowd and these commentators would love a 6-point run.
Nothing would be better right now.
That would just be an incredible.
At least 5 points, and then
then universe.
And if it didn't happen, then whatever, they've already done themselves the greatest justice of all time.
Absolutely, and these things have happened and can happen, which is why I will not pull out the U word. Here we go.
Carrie Justice sends her a flight. Sprague to Stetner. We've seen a lot of them. 393 on the stream. Mangan gets a piece of Perkins' backhand. It's great to hear we've got so many people and growing by the minute in this game. People must be hearing about all this action at AUC and just can't help but tune in. Justice. Backhand maybe? No. There she goes, the forehand. Wow. Hit rate. She's got to stick with the backhand there, no?
Steph, I'm going to say something else as they walk the disc back to the line. I think the word is insurmountable. I think we have to correct that for the record.
Oh,
wow. It's the I word.
And we were both.
Yeah, we're both
in the education profession as well.
Poor kids.
Poor kids. What are they going to do?
Say things wrong.
Insurmountable. I did suspect that at some stage, but just went with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
We already had momentum. Stetner puts a big one up. Outside in backhand. Justice is there to defend. Does it safely. And then a backhand of her own, and right back to Stetner. They're playing catch. The two of them. Sprague. Too hot to handle. That's Patty. Justice picks up. To Meehan. To Justice. Backhand. There it is. It's going to stay in. She's got a receiver. It's all working for Justice. It's all working for Ellipsis. Mangan gets the goal. Ellipsis gets the national championship, their first year at it. Great effort by Rogue. They were outmatched on the day. They'll be back. They've got a great club getting the silver and bronze, but congratulations to Ellipsis. An excellent win for them.
Yep, well deserved and a great game.
That's all for us at Ulti TV this year. Before a quick couple of thanks to everybody again, the tournament committee, great jobs, the city of Ballarat, nice fields, they hosted it well. Our game advisors, our production crew, captains, coaches, the whole work, everybody who came here, we all make it happen every time. So that's all. I'm Steph Rapazzo, joined with Nikki Smith today, bringing you the best Ultimate we've got here in Australia on Ulti TV through Sky Magazine. Thanks, everyone.